When we walked away, we were able to see like the things that we were doubting are things that we can work on.
Welcome to another episode of the Pete's After Dark. I am your host, Daryl.
And I'm your other host, Jennifer.
Yes.
And we are the Pete's.
What's up? What it do, gang?
And yeah, we are back. We've made it to episode 3. Woo!
Yes, sir. Yes,
if you watched the first episode, I didn't know if I was gonna make it here, but we're here. We're here.
Yes.
We're here. We're here with another episode. If you haven't, if this for some reason is the first episode that you're stumbling across, make sure you go check out episode 1 and 2 so you can really understand our story, our relationship, and really the flow of this series, of this season. We've kind of already have gotten deep and dove into some things.
Yeah.
Last episode, we kind of skipped over, we kind of skimmed through the fact that in year 5, I think it was around year 5, we ended up breaking up. We ended up taking a break.
Yes, we did.
And like I said last episode, not to spoil the ending, but we obviously got back together. So we really want to kind of share what that time looked like for both of us, individually and together.
What single Jennifer look like?
What single Daryl look like? That's the real question. So yeah. Let's jump right into it.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Let me get comfortable. So we mentioned that around year 5, we weren't seeing eye to eye. We mentioned that we had a loss, and I think that kind of put a strain on everything too.
Yeah.
And we really just had a lot of like personal things.
Yeah.
Personal battles, personal things that obviously now we can recognize that. But back then, we couldn't recognize it.
For sure.
And so to us, we're just like banging heads, even though we are in love, we love each other. This is, at this point, is probably both of our longest relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we're just trying to figure it out.
And figure ourselves out, figure life out, figure how to really like take care of another person, another human being.
Consider somebody else, but also figuring yourself out, because at this point we are like 22, 23.
Yep, 22 and 23.
We're like 22, 23.
Still young, man.
Yep,
5 years in, still young.
Yes.
Still young as that thing.
I know 5 years sounds like a long time for some people, but yeah, so we were just trying to figure ourselves out.
Yeah.
And at one point we came to a mutual agreement that like, we don't want this to get, almost like you don't want this to get worse. And we don't know what is better. But right now, I think it's better that we separate.
I want to, I want to be transparent. You feel me? I feel like up until that point, like it came to a head. It wasn't, like mutual agreement. It wasn't really like, I don't want to make it seem like we was calm about it, or it was like,
oh no.
We was butting heads. So we went out like really like, you do your thing, I'm finna do my thing.
Yes, and we're gonna figure it out. Yeah, because so at that point, I was going through my own personal things too. I'm 22, 23. I've had a boyfriend for 5 years now. Previous to that, I was in another relationship that was, but still I was invested into it. Worried about that another person, then getting with you, being obsessed with you, young love. I'm pretty sure that's very relatable. You just get into a relationship and you're just all caught up in him, and what is he doing, and what does he want, and what does he want to eat, and you know what I mean, like, and so I feel like at that age I was kind of just asking myself, like, who am I outside of this relationship? I really remember having a time where I couldn't answer, what do I like to do, like, what are my interests, you know, mind you, I was like in a new state still, even though it was 5 years in, I still hadn't really had a social life.
Right.
Really hadn't made friends for real, you know? So I was just really like, what are we doing? Just like I mentioned in the last video when I asked you, what are we doing?
Right.
Because I was asking myself that. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? What direction is my life going in?
Yep.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, like, what are you interested in? Like, do you still want to teach? I was interested in going to school, but put it on the back burner. You know what I mean? And
all of those are valid questions at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like trying to, but I feel like you trying to deal with that and deal with a relationship, deal with a dude that's like, at that time, was immature, you know what I'm saying? Had his own little thing going, so trying to juggle that.
You have your social life, you have your friends.
I'm in my comfort zone. Yeah, I'm in my comfort zone. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I got family, friends, I got places to go, and everything that you really had was like, it came attached to me in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? So everything you're saying is valid.
I was
excuse me, sorry.
I was 100% in Daryl's world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that was like, that's my fault. You weren't holding me hostage.
Yeah.
You didn't like separate me from people. You weren't trying to do any of that. It was literally me. It was me being young, just so focused on you that like you forget about yourself. I feel like moms and wives can feel that, but you can feel like that as a girlfriend. I felt like that at a young age, being together for so long. I was just like, who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? I remember my question was like, who am I besides Daryl's girlfriend?
And that's what I feel like a lot of our arguments came out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't even, I feel like it wasn't even like you trying to argue just to look for something to argue about. It was you like really frustrated, you know what I'm saying? And trying to like.
And not being able to express
Exactly.
it.
You can't sit down and have a conversation about something you can't really express. Like, why am I this angry? We 22, 23, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, am I really at fault? Is he really at fault? And like you said, you dealing with all of these identity crises and like really trying to figure out what you got going. And is this man playing with me? Like, he ain't got nothing going. Like, I know the ultimatum and all of that. Like, all of that came with that line of thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, there was so much going on. And I was homesick. I missed being around family and friends. And, you know, I only have a few true in my life. Yeah. And I was just missing them. Yeah. Just everything just hit me at the same time. And then now I don't have a boyfriend. You know, it's like. So then we're single.
Yeah. Single.
We're single. And this wasn't a single and still mess around. Like I said, we were never a makeup and breakup and like confusing type of thing. It's like, no, we're together. That's what it is, you know, and now we're not.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to make it clear. Like it was mutual agreement, but it was really heated. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was to a point
mutual in the sense that we both were
we both was on like, hey, nah, you know what I'm saying? This ain't it right now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And we abruptly went our ways. So when she say like, when you do say like it wasn't no makeup or breakup, we was on it. Like no communication, you know what I'm saying? Shut down. You go and do you. I go and do
and not knowing if we're gonna get back together or not.
Yeah.
Like honestly, walking away not really knowing like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these questions on here are literally conversations that we've had that we feel deepened our relationship and helped us through date night, you know, have conversations. They're serious conversations, fun conversations, random conversations. Shop on our website at www.thepeets.com.
www.thepeets.com.
Oh, my bad.
You good.
Let's get back to the video. We walked into single life for a little while. And what did that look like for you?
I mean, well, for me, like starting out, it was weird. You know what I'm saying? Getting used to being in the crib by myself. You know what I'm saying? Getting used to like doing everything around the house now, doing all the cleaning, doing all like all of this is on me now. So that was different. You know what I'm saying? like I said, not coming home to somebody, it was different, getting used to. But
Yeah.
I was prepared for it. I was trying to mentally prepare myself for it. But as I went out, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, you had that little stream where you just go out, just get it all out, you know what I'm saying? So I'm with my dogs, I'm out in the club, I'm
outside.
I'm outside before outside was outside.
Because you were, you know, you were the type that like wouldn't go and hang with your friends because you were hanging with me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
you were that type. You never played me like for your friends or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm outside now.
Yeah, but it and at first, I ain't gonna lie. At first, it was on some like, bro, I'm just outside, carefree, whatever I'm on, whatever come on, whatever. You know,
you don't
what
have
I'm
to consider anybody else anymore.
Don't have to. So but that got bored. That got boring so fast, like so fast, bro. Like it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, let's get to talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm coming home. You know what I'm saying on a consistent basis by myself. So let's try to talk to somebody. Let's see what that look like. Let's just entertain it. You feel me? And of course, you know, it's like it's just familiar faces. You know, like but my problem with going into like
talking to people.
Yeah, my problem with just those situations and talking to people was I already got a taste of. Well, I was already used to being in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
So your mindset going into that is already prefixed. You know what I'm saying? I want this. I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. I'm already looking for what I want in the future. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of going in on some silly shit, bro. Just like with that in mind. My dating experience, the small dating experience I had when I was single was blinded, man. It was blinded and kind of like, you know, dusted over with my preconceived way I move, the way I go about situations.
Yeah. You were talking to people and still moving like you were in a relationship.
Yeah, and I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that for me or for the other person.
Yeah, because then they started.
I'm arguing with people.
Yeah.
I'm single, bro. What am I arguing with people for?
Right, relationship stuff.
That got cut off quick just because I don't want to toot her horn, but I just kept comparing everything to what we had. But not what we had, just the potential of what we had. You know what I'm saying? Like if everything was good, are you better than her? You know what I'm saying? Would you be better? Would me and you be better than me and her? You know, and nobody measured up. Like I feel like dating at that time was so slim. You know what I'm saying? The pickings was so slim to where I got burnt out quick.
Yeah.
So boom. I feel like that was my first mistake going into being single. I was trying to do too, you know,
you
just
were open to talking to people.
But I was too open.
But you couldn't move. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you weren't moving like you were just talking to people.
Exactly. I was creating problems.
You were moving like a boyfriend because you were used to moving like a boyfriend.
And I did not like it, bro.
Because then it came with boyfriend problems and you're not a boyfriend.
And I'm not a boyfriend. I just know how to treat, you know what I'm saying? I treat you so, you know, to a point where like, yeah, you're a woman. I want to,
you're always respectful.
Respectful, you know what I'm saying? And that just carried over to some other stuff. But fast forward, you know what I'm saying? we out of those woods, we out of the woods, and I'm just focusing on myself now. Yeah. I'm working out more, you know what I'm saying? Doing work more, just picking up more hours at work, focusing on family, being around my bros and family more, you know what I'm saying? Just to really figure out what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like don't jump into another relationship. You just got out of one. Figure out what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
a lot of people do.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like me dating made me realize like, bro, you ain't even done with yourself yet.
So you started focusing on yourself.
I started doing my thing, man. Just not even tripping off of nothing else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then me and you start picking up and start having like, cause like you said, we were still friends at the base. I could still hit you up and talk, but we had to make sure that distance was in between us for sure.
Because if not, then what's the point?
Exactly.
Then we went from a relationship to a situationship.
Exactly. But
no.
Yeah, but like, you know what I'm saying? Once I started working on myself and understood like, you know, just certain tendencies I had, you know, like just looking back and reflecting, having the time to reflect without the person being there. You know what I'm saying? Really missing the good things and realizing the bad things wasn't as bad as they was, bro. Like it just got heightened with everything that we was going through, like
Facts.
figuring out ourselves and figuring out life and growing up with each other. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, trying to figure out life.
yeah.
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 See, me on the other end,
What?
I was sick of men. I swore off men. I was like, nope. So I ended up moving home. I was like, I'm in St. Louis for Durrell. At this point, like I said, I really still didn't really have a social life. So there was no like sad goodbyes with anyone or anything. I was just like, Durrell, you know, I just think it's best if I move back home. Like I literally home, like with my mama Vern. I told you guys about my mama Vern. So I called her.
Shout out Mama Vern.
Yeah, I called her and she was like, come on, you know, there's always a room here. So I ended up moving home, and I honestly, like I was telling you, I was really on a journey of like just figuring out like who I am. Like I said, the simplest things of what I like, what do I want to do, how do I envision myself in the future, like what are my goals? You know, I think this is the first time I really was like, what are my goals? What are my dreams? Because I never thought of that. It was just always just go, 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 you know?
Yeah.
And so I really took the time to think about those things. Jumped into work because I always work.
Yeah.
Jumped into work, had 2 jobs. I mean, I literally was like, I just want to work, make money. At this point, I'm like, I don't know if I will ever go back to St. Louis because I done moved back, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I might have to get my own place. So I'm getting a job, got me a job at a pawn shop on the weekends, and then worked as a paralegal on the weekday, which was a really fun experience. Yes, it was a really fun experience. And that alone, I was like, is this something that I want to do? Like, I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorite jobs that I've had because we work with immigration families. And so, immigrant family. I was an immigration lawyer. I worked for an immigration lawyer. So I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I was asking myself, is this something that you want to do? Like, I know you've been wanting to teach, but do you want to go to law school? Like, just, it was up to me.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you, of course, you know what I mean? But just like, I wonder what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder what he's doing with this time. And it wasn't like today where you could just go through his stories if he hasn't blocked you, you know, to see what they're doing, or look at his friends' stories to see what they're doing. So I was like, literally like, I don't know what this man is doing. But I do definitely think with time, I had the same thing of like realization of like, I definitely always, like, I wanted to be with you. I just knew that I didn't want to continue it the way that we've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then so I had to step out of it to again like realize the things that I have been doing. You know what I'm saying? Take accountability for the role that I've been playing. Yeah, for the role that I've been playing with the way that we argue or the way that things end up, the way that one small thing turns into a big thing. You know what I mean? It's like I had to take ownership. Like I had a real moment, you know what I'm saying, with myself to see like, you know, the ugly part of me, the traumatized part of me. That was really when I started digging deep and started asking myself, why do you act like this? Why do you react like this? You know what I'm saying? And digging into that. But yeah, you know, a couple guys tried to talk to me, but
ain't nothing happening.
No, I wasn't.
Ain't no entertaining no little boys.
I wasn't. I really was not interested at that time. I really was like already thinking like I want to go back to school. That's why I was already like, I don't know what I want to go back for yet. Teaching was always up there, you know what I mean? But I was like, I know I'm going to go back to school. You know, I'm getting a job. I'm about to get my own place. Like, I was just in solitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I really, really, really needed that. Because after that, you know, where should I jump to? Should we jump to like, we started being cool again? Like,
yeah, like I visit, you know, I come down
because it was a few months.
Yeah.
It was a good 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
It was a good 6 months. We were away from each other.
And like for the first 2 or 3.
Yep.
For the first 2 or 3, it was like literally like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like work on you, build on you, you know what I'm saying? And I've been, you know what I'm saying? Just those 3 months, it took enough for me to know like, all right, you got some stuff you need to work on too, bro. Like you need, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as like the nonchalant shutting down and shutting down so much to where you blow up when you finally got something to say, you know what I'm saying? Like talking through it. Give yourself time, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like that monster is about to come out, you know, explain it, you know what I'm saying? Like just the communication part of it. But I feel like the last 3 months, that's when like we start like visiting each other. You'll come down to St. Louis.
Yeah, we started becoming friends.
Because because I do want to like highlight that my family did love you. You know what I'm saying? So you'll come back to, like I remember you came back for DJ his cancer party thing. Yeah,
I had to.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's been 5 years. Your nieces and nephews call me TT. You know, it's like, and I view them as, you know, my nephews and nieces. So yeah, that is the first time that we like started hanging out again, and it was a cool time.
Yeah,
I think after that time that we hung out, we were both kind of like, okay, it's still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because we still friends. Like I feel like we can, no matter what, we will be friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we just vibe off. We just vibe off each other so perfectly.
The vibe, and that's why I was saying, even through the year 1 through 5 of us just trying to figure it out and arguing, you know what I mean, and all this stuff, it was still like a good vibe. It was always a good vibe between us. You know, there were good times. It wasn't all bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was more
arguing.
It was more ups than downs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But I just knew that I did not want. Like I said, the arguing, it was like, I don't think it's getting better. And I don't, again, at that time, I'm like, this is triggering me. Like, I don't know why it's triggering me. I don't know how. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know the word trigger at that point. But I don't like the way the way we argue, how it makes me feel. It makes me want to leave. You know, fight or flight. It makes me want to leave every time. And I don't want to feel like that, you know?
So, yeah, we got back together and we became, you know.
No, we didn't just get back together.
No, I'm saying
we were friends.
We got to Lincoln back together. Lincoln.
Yeah.
I got back together.
Yeah, we were linking up.
We got to Lincoln back together.
He started telling me about his stories. And
because you're the homie. You
exactly. It was like we still wanted to talk to each other. Like I still, you know, wanted to share things with you and stuff. But yeah, and then, you know, benefits rolled in.
You feel me?
Benefits rolled in.
Because we were still physically attracted to each other.
That's why it was still there. That's why when we seen each other, we were like, it's still there. And I think that time kind of just softened our hearts for each other. And again, like you said, stepping back and just being like, was it that bad?
Exactly.
And it's like, well, yes, the arguing and everything, that is bad. But the rest, this vibe, this energy, you know what I'm saying? Like this relationship, you can't replace it. Like you can't.
Exactly.
So yeah, we had a little fun, but then we had to have that talk.
We did, because what we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Because now what we doing? You know
what are we doing? Are we getting back together? Because I'm about to get an apartment. I was apartment, you know, shopping. I was looking, you know, and so I was like, am I getting an apartment? And I think
I wanted you to do that for a minute though, right?
Then, I was gonna say, and then I was kind of like, you know, should I just stay here and we'll keep dating, you know, for another 6 months or so, and we'll see. But no, we were both like, this is it. Yeah, like this is it. And the thing is that like we really from that moment on, from year 5, so this is over a decade ago.
Yeah,
It's over 10 years ago. This was before we got married. But that's when we chose each other. That's when we said, because we didn't have marriage holding us. This wasn't us fighting for our marriage to not get divorced.
Yeah.
This wasn't us trying to make it work for kids. We didn't have any kids. So we literally chose each other. We literally chose our relationship.
Yeah.
And since then we were like, this is it.
Yeah.
You know, we've been out. And one thing I wanted to say,
Okay.
I meant to mention was, as much as I didn't like that you were dating and whatnot, although it was all in all fairness, you know what I'm saying? A part of me was also like, I was happy that you did talk to other people because we got together so young. You know what I'm saying? And so, not to say that you ever in the relationship were thinking like, oh, what else is out there or whatever.
Yeah.
But we got together young, and I had this like guiltiness, or I don't know what the right word is, or overthinking or whatever, that I was like, what if he like is wondering what else is there because we got together so young and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
And vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so I would, and that's not to like encourage, like this episode is not to encourage people to take a break and get back together. Like everybody's journey is different.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works out that way. It could be an option, you know, but not all relationships are meant to last either. Not all relationships are meant to, you know, if you're both not putting the work in.
I mean, I feel like this is more along the lines of what the break taught us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Like stepping away from each other and actually building on each other, but realizing like those lows wasn't as low as we thought. We was just too close to it. You know what I'm saying? It was just in the heat of the moment, those emotions.
These were things that we could fix.
Yeah.
The message here is that the things that were tearing us apart or making that little distance between us were things that we could work on. Because if we went into another relationship, you're taking those same traumas to that relationship.
Exactly.
You're taking those same problems. It might take another year or two for them to start coming out again. But you're still not getting to the root thing. And the thing, when we walked away, we were able to see like the things that we were doubting are things that we can work on. And that's why I said, like, once we came back together, we were like, that's it.
We are like living testimony that as long as you put the work in and you're willing to put the work in, no matter how hard it seemed at that point, it's always better after. It's always
that self-work.
Yeah, the self-work. Yeah.
That's why we say, like, people are like, oh, it takes work. What's the work? It's a lot of self-work. It's a lot of self-work. And that's why I was saying not every relationship is meant to last. You know, sometimes the one person is putting in all the work. And that's one thing that I say. I mean, I don't use definites in relationship because different things work for different people.
Yeah.
But I always say it takes two.
Oh, yeah.
So you cannot, it doesn't matter the amount of work that you do. It will never be enough for the both of you. You can never do the work for them.
Exact. Come on now.
Yes, you got it. It has to be the two of you. And that's why it has worked. Because I chose to come back to this relationship. You chose to come back to this relationship. And we've chosen to work on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And continue to choose ourselves.
Yep. And I feel like just holding each other accountable, you know what I'm saying? Like not only ourselves, but hold up, you slipping a little bit. You know, you got to be able to get called out on your BS without feeling like you have to call them out or find something to call them out on just to make it even. You know what I'm saying? You're right. That's me. You feel me?
And I think a lot of, I'm going to go out and I'm going to say it, but a lot of relationships could be saved if, like I said, if you could just look at yourself, both people look at yourself to see like what could you do to better the relationship instead of us moving on and not dealing with the root problems. We came back here and we dealt with the root problems and here we are thriving.
Don't run away from the problems, man.
Yes.
Don't run away. Run towards them and work on them together.
If y'all both want it. I always say that. If you both can sit here and say, I want this to work. I want you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you can say that.
Yeah. want you for you, not for the kids, not for our
Yes.
situation, not for anything outside
Yes,
of
I want
me wanting
you. I want this because this feeling, even though we have other things that's going on and this and that, but this right here, I want this.
Facts.
Work on it. Don't break
Facts.
up.
Please.
Come on,
please.
y'all.
But if you look, if you
No.
sit back and you assess the situation and you know you putting in more than what the other person putting in, and sometimes people come, it's hard to come to grips with. Maybe you need to just shut that situation out.
Yeah.
But you know, like,
sometimes it's a lesson.
Yeah.
We weren't each other's, even though we got together young, but we weren't each other's first relationship. And like we shared in episode 2, that's when we came back together. That was our first real deep conversation in the sense of like, this is what I need. Because again, while I was single, I was thinking about what do I need in a relationship, because I'm always focused about what you need or the other person. It's not you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's just how I was like wired or whatever. It's like, what does he need? What does he need? And it's like, what do you need in a relationship? You know what I'm saying? So we both came in expressing these things, starting to talk about boundaries, starting to talk about like, this is why I think I blow up, you know, and really having therapy sessions with each other.
And this is, and like we said in the last couple episodes, this is us like not having a model, you know what I'm saying, couple to look after, like
not a mentor, not a therapist. Because I say
nothing.
therapy sessions, but I mean therapy sessions with me and him.
Yeah.
You know?
Like we literally have to figure it out on our own, bro. And that's why I feel so good. Like that's why I feel like right now there's nothing that can take us apart. It's like it's nothing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Outside of just us two, you know what I'm saying?
That solidified us. That's why I said like we didn't have anything holding us together, and we chose each other. And that time, that really solidified. That was make or break. We could have walked away, and that was the end of our relationship. I was I was back home, in another state. So yeah, it was make or break.
Yeah.
And it made us. Because from that moment on, before we got married, that's why I said before we even got married, from that moment on,
5 more years after that.
Yes, 5 years. That's when we were solidified. After that, no matter what was thrown to us, we're going to figure it out. We're not walking away. We don't desire anybody else. We don't want any other relationship. You know, like this is what I want.
And I feel like around that time, once we straight declared like this is what we want, we started to get like different type of lessons or different type of hurdles to jump. You know what I'm saying? Okay, y'all went through the puppy love stage to where you have to get over the emotions and stuff. Now I'm gonna throw life at you. Now we gotta deal with bread, we gotta deal with money problems, we gotta deal with car issues, we gotta deal with jobs and stuff.
Trying to get
do
pregnant.
You really want do you really want this? But we still chose each other through all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We still stayed through all of anything that could have took anything out. You know, it could have took anybody out.
Could, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was like there's nothing else that could be thrown at us, and we're not like we're gonna get over it. Even if we don't know how we're gonna get over it, we know that we're gonna make it through together. You know?
And that's why I'm saying I say that because like just because our relationship, like we got a better understanding of our relationship, don't mean life got easier. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't get easier, but we did choose each other. But it
solidified us to be able to get through anything that life throws at us. We just had this certainty about each other, this trust, this like, this is my person. Even now, we don't know what life is going to throw. I still consider us young. Even though we've been together 17 years, I'm looking for the days that we've been saying we've been together for 40 years. And do you know how much can happen from 17 years to 40 years? A lot. You know, a lot. Life can throw a lot. But like we really meant it. Like when we said our vows, we really meant through whatever. Sickness, broke, whatever. And I think that's also why we're like comfortable now, like sharing these things. And really being a little more transparent. Not all of our business, because our number one rule is keep people out of your business.
Please.
You know, so not all of our business, but because we're just like, we're like this. So there's nothing that you can tell me about this man. There's nothing you can tell this man
about
us. There's nothing.
Not a thing, man.
And I know somebody hates to hear that. Like, oh, I gotta find a way to bring them up. Like a complete stranger. People out there that are so, that project on you, that aren't healed yet, that are still broken, that you don't believe that a real relationship can be healthy, that this can be real. It's like, I wanted to touch on, so after we got together, I did get my stuff together. To all those questions that I had to myself of what I like to do and what are my interests and what do I want to do, I found those answers. And I'm still finding those answers. But I'm a different woman. I'm open to having interests and hobbies and having an identity. Being Jennifer, I'm proud to be your wife. I'm my husband people to death. I love being a wife. I love being a mother, but I love being Jennifer too, and knowing like who I am. And, taking that time, that helped me. We got back together. We moved back in together, and I went to school. Had to pay it out of pocket because I messed it up when I moved there. Messed up the financial aid. Worked to pay it off, and
you came back with a vengeance on your own self.
Yes. I had a clear mind. I had a clear direction, like I said. So that switched everything for us. Switched everything. So I wanted to share something, if it's okay with you, something that I came across.
Okay.
Because honestly, this is really all about healing.
Yeah.
It's all about healing, and we're so big on. We were talking about this earlier, where we were like, I genuinely feel like everyone deserves to heal.
Yes.
Everyone, unfortunately, won't heal. But everyone deserves to heal, because nobody deserves, like nobody asked for the traumas that they've been giving through life. You didn't ask for these traumas. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, some people just don't ever get to a place where they don't see that they deserve healing. They deserve in that you didn't deserve those things. You didn't deserve that trauma. Coming from a person that like has seen the world in both perspectives, where I've been broken and just jaded and all that, and to be able to kind of be on the other side and tell teenager Jennifer like it's gonna be all right, and life is actually so much better than
what you going through. Yeah, for sure.
So you're not healing to be able to handle trauma. You're healing to be able to handle joy. And that really hit me, because I know that I would not be able to take this joy in, this just the blessings that God gives me. You know what I mean? Just having you as my husband, just to be able to accept these things, to feel like worthy of these things is why, I needed to heal, why I continue to heal. You know what I mean? Not to be able to deal with the trauma, but to be able to like accept happiness, accept joy, accept that you are worthy of better.
Like you said, healing. Once you heal, you won't feel sorry for yourself. You won't blame everybody else for what's going on. Of course, like you said, you ain't asked for it.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to get yourself through it and make it better for your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or just somebody that need help that's in your position. You feel me? You don't want to.
But it's so hard.
It's hard.
And that's what we were saying earlier too. We were like, it's just we know it's easier said than done, man, because it's taken years. Like I said, healing is a continuous journey, especially if you've gone through a lot of trauma, to be able to unpack everything. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Please make sure that you are subscribed and you have joined the family. And make sure that you like this video. Push this video out to the algorithm for the people that need to see this. So like it up, comment, share it. We still have more episodes coming.
Yes.
Still getting a little deeper. Some episodes have a little bit of a trigger warning because we're gonna get real deep. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you don't know, I like to sing a lot and I've been holding back. And I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. It's just as the season goes on, you guys are gonna have to see like my true self because I'm getting more comfortable showing them the Jennifer that you get to experience. The funniest person in your life.
She is hilarious. Like, y'all don't understand how hilarious she is, bro. For real.
I didn't say it. I'm just kidding.
Nah, for real. Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna end it there. And
how you want us to end it from here on out?
I don't know.
Because you don't want to say.
We were trying to figure out how to end the videos besides like seeing you guys in the next video. So like,
what?
One love, peace and love.
Peace and love. Let's do that.
Peace and love.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
You ain't got to do the. How about you do the peace and I do the.
Okay. Peace and love.
Do we like that?
Peace and love. You ain't got to do
That's what we're all about, like, for real. Like, we're all about peace and love and, like, good vibes. So, like, it needs to be something like that, like, good vibes. Like, keep the good vibes going.
I hope your vibes good.
Keep the good vibes going. Yeah. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Keep your vibes good. How about that?
Keep the vibes good?
Yeah, keep the vibes good.
Keep the vibes good. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll work on it.
That's it right there.
Yeah, no.
You stupid. Nah.
We'll figure it out. Maybe by the end of the season. All right, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
See you next episode. Peace and love.
You get on my nerves.
Keep the vibes good, y'all.